Okay, now so we are gonna discuss real estate investment trust. Okay, over here, REIT are investment vehicles. Okay, that own, operate, and manage a portfolio of income generating properties for regular returns. These are usually commercial properties, offices, shopping centers, hotels, etc. that generate rental income. And REIT works very much like a mutual fund. It pools funds from a number of investors and invests them in rent generating properties. Okay, now SEBI requires Indian REITs to be listed on the exchanges. Okay, these are also listed on the stock exchanges to make an initial public offer to raise the money. Okay, just like mutual funds, REITs are subject to the three tier structure. The sponsor who is responsible for setting up of the REIT, the fund management company, okay, which is responsible for selecting and operating the properties, and the trustee who ensures that the money is managed in the interest of unit holders. Okay, now being a new investment structure instrument for the Indian investors, it is imperative to study. Okay, REIT, it could provide an alternate investment or attractive alternate investment instrument in the Indian financial markets. Alright, we are going to start with the introduction very quickly. You have to cope up with me. The real estate investment trust is an investment vehicles that invest in the rent yielding completed real estate properties, which has the potential to transform an Indian real estate sector. The REIT helps attracting long-term financing from domestic as well as foreign sources. This could improve fund availability to real estate developers and reduce some burden on completed assets by allowing the owners of the assets to raise capital from investors against the issue of the units. Further, for the investors, the REIT can provide a new investment vehicle with ongoing returns, elevated transparency, and government standards. Now, the background: REIT has been one of the most important vehicles for making a collective investments in the commercial real estate, emanating in the USA 1960s and 1960s. Is a tax transparent collective. What is this collective investment vehicles? REITs have subsequently been used by the several countries. Other countries have done remarkably well. In India, SEBI has introduced real estate mutual funds. Pursuant to the recommendation of the AMFI committee, and thereafter it became with the draft regulations on REIT in 2008. In 2013, a regulatory framework has once again put on a public domain. The major concern surrounding the viability of the REITs in India is the non-availability of the tax pass-through status. However, in the virtue of Finance Act 2014, the Ministry of the Finance provided tax incentives to the schemes. SEBI acted proactively after the announcement of the budget, and SEBI approved the REIT regulation in the board meeting held on 10th of August 2014 and issued the highlights of the regulations. Press release number 89 2014. Now, SEBI on the 26th of September 2014 finally notified the final regulations, SEBI REIT regulations 2014. Now, the introduction of the regulatory framework for the REST has paved the way for the launch of the REIT funds in India. Okay, funds. Now, in REITs in India would issue securities which would be listed on the stock exchanges. REITs will invest predominantly in completed commercial real estates. Okay, either directly or through the SPV. SPV, that is special purpose vehicle. Now, initially, REITs are planned to be available only to the net worth individuals and institutions to develop the market. Gradually, they will be available for the retail investors as well. Okay, only to the high net worth individuals and institutions to develop the market. Gradually, they will be available for the retail investors as well, like you and me. Now, the REIT structure: unit holders, cornerstone long-term investors, institutional investors, real investors. Unit holders, cornerstone long-term investors, institutional investors, retail investors, lenders, debt finance. Okay, investments in the REIT: distributions, debt, and principal and interest act on behalf of unit holders. REIT manager, REIT trustee, subcontract property manager, ownership of the assets, property management services, real estate assets, no property income. Okay. Now, salient features of the SEBI REIT regulations: governing code, that is SEBI Real Estate Investment Trust Regulation 2020, legal structure, Indian Trust Act 1882. Okay, Real Estate Investment Trust. Okay, trust set up under Indian Trust Act 1882. Parties to the REIT is a sponsor group, redesignated sponsor, manager, and trustee. Maximum number of the sponsors that REIT can have, and unit holding obligation is each sponsor shall hold or propose to hold minimum 5% of the units of the REIT, collectively to hold minimum of 25% of the units of the REIT for a period of not less than 3 years from the date of the listing, and sponsors or the sponsors group together hold not less than 15% of the outstanding units of the listed REIT at all the times. Okay, maximum number of the sponsors that REIT can have. Unit holding obligation. Each sponsor shall hold or propose to hold a minimum 5% of the units of the REIT, collectively to hold minimum of 25% of the units of the REIT for the period of not less than 3 years from the date of the listing, and sponsors and the sponsor groups together shall not hold, together shall not less than 15% of the outstanding units of the listed REIT at all the times. Eligibility for the trustee shall be registered as trustee under the SEBI debenture trustee regulations 1993, and shall not be an associate of the sponsor, manager, principal, valuer. Listing requirements. Listing is mandatory for the units. Investment conditions. At least 80% of the value of the REIT assets needs to be completed, and revenue generating properties Other permissible investments. Remaining 20% can be invested in. Investment conditions is 80% of the value of the REIT assets needs to be completed and revenue generated properties. Other permissible investments is remaining 20% can be invested in developmental properties, listed or unlisted, debt of the company's body corporate in the real estate sector, mortgage backed securities, equity shares of the companies listed on the recognized stock exchange in India, which derive not less than 75% of the operating income from real estate activity, government securities, unutilized FSI of the project, TDR acquired for the purpose of utilization, money market instruments or cash equivalents. Now valuation of the assets. Full valuation on the yearly basis and updating the same on the half yearly basis, and declare the NAV within 15 days on the date of the such a valuation updation. Full valuation on a half yearly basis and updating the same on the half yearly basis, and declare NAV within 15 days from the date of such a valuation updation. Distribution income. At least 90% of the net distribution income after the tax of the REIT company shall be distributed as dividend to the unit holders at least on half yearly basis, and shall be made not later than 15 days. Distribution of income. At least 90% of the net distribution income after tax net distribution income after tax of the REIT holders shall be distributed as dividend to the unit holders at least on a half yearly basis, and shall not be made. Shall made not later than 15 days. Now mode of investment in properties. Directly or through SPVs holding at least 80% of the assets directly in their properties, and shall not invest in other SPVs. The REIT shall hold controlling interest and not less than 50% of the equity share capital of the special purpose vehicle. Initial offer restrictions. Minimum offer size should be at least 250 crore. That is IPO for the IPO. Minimum subscription and unit size. Under both the initial offer and the follow-on offer rights issues QIPs, minimum subscription size for the units of the REIT shall be 50,000 rupees. Units offered to the public in the initial offer shall not be less than 25% of the number of the units of the REIT on the post-issue basis, and can offer less than 25% subject to the certain conditions. Regulation number 14(2)(a). Trading lot shall be 100 units. Trading lot shall be 100 units. See, again I'm repeating. No, I will not repeat. Borrowing and deferred payments. The aggregate consolidated borrowing and deferred payments of the REIT shall never exceed 49% of the value of the REIT assets. In case such a borrowing deferred payments exceeds 25%, approval from the unit holders and credit rating shall be required. Now we are going for the definition. Associate of any person shall be defined under the Companies Act 2013 or under the applicable accounting standards, and also shall include the following: any person controlled or associate, any person controlled directly or indirectly by the said person, any person who controls directly or indirectly the said person by the said person is a company or the body corporate, any person who is designated as a promoter of the company or the body corporate as any other company or body corporate with the same promoters, where the said person is individual or relative of the individual. Body corporate shall have the meaning assigned to it under subsection number 11 of the section number 2 of the Companies Act 2013. Bonus issue means additional units allotted to the unit holders as on the record date fixed for the said purposes without any cost to the unit holders. A change in control means in case of the company or the body corporate, change in the control where the control shall have the meaning as provided in subsection number 27 of the section number 2 of the Companies Act 2013. In any other cases, the change in the controlling interest. Explanation. It may be noted that the expression controlling interest means an interest, whether direct or indirect, to the extent of not less than 50% of the voting rights or the interest. There are many definitions. We will continue afterwards. Thank you very much for watching.